Okay, good evening, everyone. We're from Team 1, and we're going to introduce you our project called the ErrorHunter.
First, we introduce the example of mis and disinformations. Many people may imagine that only public content, which is entirely false, but there are many other types of mis and disinformations. These are just examples, like manipulated content, imposter content, misleading content, false context, false connections, and satire and parody. This implies that the difficulties to deal with this problem and complex situations. And this shows percentage of people who say indispensable source of information in Japan. From this, both male and female think in internet as the highest important information source. And from this chart, internet is an important source, especially in young and middle generations. And this graph shows when elementary and junior high school students starting using smartphone in Japan. From this, many students in Japan starts using smartphone and connect to the internet from in early teens. From these circumstances, we aim to developing games for teenagers to practice discerning mis and disinformations on social media.
Okay, so as my teammate explained, our target audience is teenagers in Japan. So we thought of a way to create a solution that is fun and interactive, and that is game. But not just any game, it is a story-driven game where players earn points and level up by identifying basically misinformation on SNS that we would like to have in the user interface of our games. And so essentially the storyline will change depending on how users react to the misinformation presented. And there will be tools that they can use to cross-check the informations. And so not only this application will train them to differentiate misinformation, but it will also practice their critical thinking skills, emotional awareness, as well as digital media literacy. And so here I would just like to mention the most important stakeholders. Firstly, obviously, it's teenagers in Japan, which is why the name of this game application, ErrorHunters, was proposed, as it is easy to pronounce. And next is schools in Japan, as it will play a role in the marketing part, which will be explained more later. And as the last one that is being mentioned here, the software engineers, and that is because we would like to hire a software engineer to develop the game. So we need to have a dedicated software engineer that can be with us in the long run.
So, as you said, our main goal is this. I pick up some inclusion. We first design age-appropriate contents of game, and we need to consult with software engineer to develop the application. And we also provide teachers with some material, how to use this application materials. And we didn't make too difficult contents for teenage students. And this application is, we make this application as main educational material. So we exclude traditional teaching style by teachers. And we make this application at minimum cost, so we don't ask government to increase running budget for public schools. So this is tangible outputs, so game and manual guide for teachers, and teachers interface and student interface. Teachers interface means that the dashboard for teachers, so that can enable them to grade student score in this application. And student interface means that the screen interface student see and interact with, and advertise and feedback from schools. So stakeholder results, teenage students can increase their media literacy and enjoy and can be motivated for learning through this application. And school can get access to easy to use material for education. And they can also get insight into student understanding in this application score. A software engineer can generate profit through this application subscription fees.
And so this is our work breakdown structure. We generally, this work is going to be broken down into 3 phases. The first one is the project initiation phase, which will include the project charters that defines the objectives, stakeholders, and deliverables. And then we will also develop the storyline for the games here. And then we will begin the development of the demo game, which includes the game development itself, and releasing it by first, we're going to have 2 types of promotion that we're going to do, 2 means of release. First is that we're going to do a demo and presentation in schools in Japan for them to implement the demo game, and then we're going to release it online for people to try. And then after that, we're going to start developing the full game by, again, continuing from where we left off in the demo game, and then releasing it again to schools and to the public through the internet. And this is our scheduling Gantt chart. The whole project is gonna take roughly a year, less than a year. But as said previously, it's gonna be broken down to 3 phases, with the project initiation containing charter and storyline development, and then the demo game, which is the game development and release, and then full game, including the development full game and then releasing it.
This is our risk analysis. Pink shows the negative risk and green shows the positive risk. As a negative risk, we include such as not generating enough money to cover costs, and as the positive risk, we include as some media such as popular streamer features this application. This is our risk analysis. We will focus on these risk events. For the risk that's not generating enough money to cover costs, we'll take the mitigate response that promotes the effectiveness of the trial version to increase application. And for the risk that bugs are detected in testing, we will also take the mitigate solution response that repeat test and prioritize and fix the bugs immediately. And for the negative risk that game not approved by school, we'll also take mitigate solution that contact many schools and recommended trial version. And for the positive risk that some media such as popular streamer featured this application, will enhance this opportunity to use it as an opportunity to sign up with many schools. And in conclusion, our goal is to empower teenager students to recognize and resist online misinformation. To achieve this goal, we will develop a game named ErrorHunter for teenager students to teach them to identify misinformation. Thank you for listening.
Okay, hello everyone, we're Team 2 and we'll be presenting our project, GenuInfo. So, social media has allowed us to be more connected than ever and more entertained than ever. But this has a downside. So imagine you're doing your daily scroll when you see a picture of Taylor Swift telling you to vote for Donald Trump. Now, this is AI generated, and you might know it's AI generated, but would your mother or your grandmother? And herein lies the main issue we want to tackle, which is that social media facilitates the spread of both misinformation and disinformation. So according to the American Psychological Association, they estimate that the overall news consumption ranges from 0.2% to 29% depending on which topic it is. And this enables the spread of conspiracy theories like this coronavirus causes whatever it causes, and also fake news. But why is it so pervasive on social media? So first is sensationalism, really entertaining and big headlines, even though they're not true, will often get pushed by the algorithm. And second, there's the presence of these online echo chambers where the algorithm selects what you are likely to enjoy and presents you with it over and over again. And this effectively stops you from seeing other contrasting points of view. So how do we combat the spread of this mis or disinformation? So first, we should avoid repeating misinformation without including corrections. And second, we should use trusted sources to counter the misinformation. And that leads to our project, GenuInfo.
Our solution is to create a space on the website where people can freely discuss issues. When you click on a region on the world map, you will be provided with a space where you can discuss events that have occurred in that region. Our website is operated based on these policies. First, sharing information based on evidence and experience to avoid misinformation or disinformation. Second, do not verbally attack others. If you attack others, you will be banned by the user voting system. Third, no anonymous account. This is to ensure that people take responsibility for what they say. This is our stakeholder mapping. Our key stakeholder is public people who use social media. People often believe only what they want to believe, regardless of whether it is true or false. This leads to the spread of misinformation or disinformation. Therefore, we provide a space to access various opinions and misinformation based on evidence and experience. Our goal is to reduce the number of people who believe misinformation or disinformation.
Okay, next I will explain 4 project scope. Our main goal is establish free discussion space on the website. First, inclusion is example sensitive post with web reference, page policies, and response system, and so on. Then, exclusion is excessive sensitive, showing the information, and baseless information, and so on. Next, we explain project deliverables. Our tangible outputs, for example, website, account, and user review, and support them. These are all about website. Next, stakeholder results. We consider free space, biased and authentic information, and reverse recognition. These are all results, mainly users change.
And then next is about the we'll break down structures. Our project is the building website. We divided into the 6 main groups. For the first thing, we do the website conceptualizations. In this step, we do the recruitment and we discuss about the concept of the website. After we get the web concept, we do funding. We will find the sponsors or lend money from bank. We also do the crowdfunding through the social medias or anything. Next step is the website development. We develop the website, then test and launch the website in this process. And then we do the advertising. We will create this SNS account to promote our own website. We also try other ways to advertise the website, like influencers or academic approach. And then we do the maintenance of the website. We maintain the website, the securities, the policies. We also do the user support, like the user report system, make everything in place. And the last one is the user survey. We will collect the user opinions on our website and use that to improve the website. As for the scheduling or Gantt chart, the conceptualization we took around 6 weeks, and then we do the funding. The sponsorship and the bank learning will took around like a month, and then the crowdfunding will do like a long term alongside with the development process, so it took around 30 weeks. And then the development process, like the behind the scene, the UX, UI, the functions, we took about 20 weeks to process. For the testing, we will do alongside the development, and plus the launching process, it will took about 25 weeks. Next is the advertising. We will use around 6 weeks alongside with the launching process to promote our website. Next is the maintenance, like the user support, the policies, the maintenance, the securities, and the server load maintenance. We took around 30 weeks for this project, and everything needs to be like work in parallel to keep the website going on. And then after 3 months, we will take the first user survey and then improve our website. And in another 3 months, we will do the second user survey, and that's the end of our project. The critical parts for the project will take about 55 weeks, around 1 month and 1 year and 3 months.
Okay, let's move on to the risk management part. So here are the risk analysis diagram from our group. From lower to higher, we have higher probability that risk going to occur. And from left to right, we have a higher impact to our project. And the blue color boxes are the positive risks, and the pink purple color boxes are the negative risks.
Now, let's talk about 4 specific risks. First, being hacked poses a severe threat. This risk is likely and carries a very high impact. To address this, our strategy is avoidance, implementing robust cybersecurity measures early to prevent potential risks. Similarly, the risk of running out the funds for server maintenance is both likely and impactful. Here, mitigation is our chosen response. We will closely manage budgets and establish backup financial plans to ensure continuous operation. Turning to the positive risks, obtaining funding from organizations and public. Given its moderate likelihood but significant impact, we've chosen to accept this risk, allowing us flexibility without allocating excessive resources. Next, celebrity promotion represents another valuable positive risk. Although the probability of this risk is pretty low, its high impact could substantially boost our project's visibility. Therefore, we will decide to enhance this opportunity by actively engaging influencers who align with our visions.
Okay, here is our conclusion. We will make a GenuInfo as website. We achieve well GenuInfo and social medias and spread in many countries, and to each well founded information and guarantee fair discussion. And care about risk. We should carry our risks. We will make with our information society by GenuInfo. Thank you for listening.
this is our team's
Hello?
title.
Yeah, we can hear you, Bram.
TrueView.
All right.
And this is our team members, and Bram is on the Zoom.
Oh, can you use the microphone, please?
Do you know this manga? This manga is published 1999 in Japan, and it said that there would be a big earthquake in Japan and also the tsunami on July 5th, 2025. And this is a fiction story, but the many influencers shared it is a real. So the many tourists from other countries canceled their trip to Japan. So like this example, misinformation believed to be true and spread widely by social media and have a big impact for our society. So our goal is to give a verified news, and also we will focus on the disaster and the election in Japan. So this research said that misinformation increasing during the disaster and the election. So we will focus on these 2 points. So, and our target is a tourist from other country and the family of the people living in Japan, like the student family. So to achieve this goal, we will make a website. And through this website, we can share we can give a verified news and also teach the user how to identify the fact news or the fake news.
And this is stakeholder analysis, and here 5 main stakeholders are listed. And first, government, because fake news can cause political and economic impacts, economic loss and loss of Japanese reputation. And second, news agencies and fact-checking agency. They are both information sources on our websites, and they can increase their reach by being listed and linked on our websites. And on the map about news agency, Japanese news agencies like NHK and Japanese local news agencies are different because in some cases local news agencies are very important as information source. And next, tourism industry. In the case that Mizuki said, according to Nomura Research Institute, Japan got approximately $560 billion economic loss. So it's very important and it's serious problem for them. So it's stakeholder, and these 4 stakeholders are placed here, managed closely, and final foreigners, especially tourists or those have families or friends in Japan, stakeholder, and here keep informed.
So our solution started by looking at the current information. So Carnegie Endowment for International Peace is an independent think tank located in Washington, and it has been consistently ranked as the #1 think tank. In 2024, they published a document that analyzes over dozens of research papers that from researchers that provide solutions. So if you look at these 3 points, supporting local journalism, media literacy education, and changing recommended algorithm, you will see that their effectiveness is significant. So our solution, which is TrueView Japan, focuses on 3 things. First is that you will be able to search only through trusted, verified news. Second is you will know what recent news has been debunked. And third is you will learn how to identify fake news for yourself. For #1, we will create a list of trusted and verified news. It would include national news agencies like NHK, international news agencies like BBC, and even local news agencies. For right now, we have a target of 1 per prefecture, like Okinawan Times. Japan has 3 independent fact-checking agencies: Japan Fact Check Center, Fact Check Initiative Japan, and Rhythmus. They all have their own websites in which they tell you which recent viral news has been debunked. So this will also be on our website. The third aspect of our website is we will provide a toolkit for you to learn how to spot fake news.
even if you read a news by NHK that's political, you should know, you should learn how to think for yourself, which is why we would have a disclaimer on all election articles for you to learn how to judge by yourself if it's fake news or if they have a special agenda.
Here's from the project scope. First is inclusion. As mentioned, we are focusing on news on election and disaster. They're using bilingual resources who identify fake news in various ways. They're using 3 fact-checking engines to see they verify news or not. The exclusion, not using multiple languages and not for blind user in the first project. If we success this project, maybe we consider this part. And not targeting native Japanese speakers. Here's the project delivers firstly tangible outputs. We're making new fact-checking websites, sharing tools include education fields, how to identify fake news. Here's stakeholder results, foreigners, Japan countries, airlines, fact-checking agency. If foreigners can easy to find verified news, Japan and the airlines have a benefit. Japan can get a lot of tourists, and the airlines have a lot of customers. So it's with economic growth and no cancellation. And finally, fact-checking agency, it's more like due to visibility.
Okay, so here is our work breakdown structure. So we divided into 4. The main works, the phase 2 stakeholder and data provider approachment. Phase 3 is technical arrangement, and phase 4 is the promotion. Next. The main work is actually like what you see in the screen, and it will be aligned to each other. So define the stakeholder, defining the user-friendly system, and then the sketch protocol idea. This is the important thing, and then survey the prototype idea, the prototype, and then also make the project proposal. Next. Next again, the phase 2 stakeholders, and data provider approachment. We're gonna be like finding legit news provider in Japan, pitch project to news agencies, waiting for their input, of course, and also corporate participation. Next. It's also contact fact-checking agency, and all of the progress is the same. Next. The funding sponsorship, also the same, but we choose the 2 of the sponsorship, like the Japan Ministry of International Affairs and also the SIA, Separate Trade Association. Next. Next is the 3rd phase, like also the same, like we're finding the special programming and graphic designer. This one is the website development. So explain the project to them and waiting for their inputs, corporate participation, making the website, and also the key about fix feedback loop. Next. And the other one is here, like define the outsource for the translator team, but also we make sure to align also with the tone and accuracy that we want. Next. Then the last one is the promotion. So the promotion gonna be including the our SNS, making our SNS, and also select the contact social media influencers, work with the client operation, also contact with collaborating news agencies in later. Next. So here is the gacha. Probably it's gonna take like probably 10 months, to be honest. Yeah, next.
Okay, so here our like risk management and potential negative risk. We divide it into 3 groups, like technical risks, social behavioral risk, and ethical political risks. You can see the examples, for example, like for the technical risk, server may crash. For the social behavioral risk, like the site would just not reach the audience. And for ethical political risk, could be misused, for example, during elections by like some party. So for the technical risk and our potential solutions, if, for example, like server overload or crashed, we just mitigate it or accept it through, like, for example, cloud hosting and backups. And if, for example, AI translations will be inaccurate, we will combine it with a human check. We will hire interpreters for that. If like human check and human translation will take some time, we just prioritize the key content. And if for potential data breaches and leaks, we'll just try to limit the data. So for other risks, we can see that for the social behavior risk, we'll try just to mitigate everything. For example, if the site will be ignored or just not reach the audience, we'll use humor, memes, advertisement. If like some fact-checking agencies will refuse to collaborate. We will like start smaller, offer our value. And for the ethical political risk, if like this website will be misused, we will set clear rules, monitor use, and if it will cause some political and social issues, we'll just try to stay flexible and monitor the situation and adapt fast. So here are like potential positive outcomes. Well, in general, I would say that like we hope that it will improve media literacy of society and become a reliable news source. So who we are a website for verified news on disasters and election in Japan, and what we want to achieve, we want to reduce the disinformation, increase awareness about fact-checking services, and improve media literacy. That's all. Thank you.
So a little bit about project background is that social media may contain non-traditional sources, and the governments are usually use this all the narratives in order to promote their propaganda. And we also believe that all kind of news is usually biased, and that's why we understand the fact that it's impossible to produce something unbiased. So therefore, we have this project. So, and one more problem that we want to address is that people usually don't think about the sources of the information. And our project goal is to educate people how to think critically and form their personal opinion. Also create unbiased environment, let's say less biased environment. And to create a platform that is owned by the universities and by the academia, rather than the government or like big organizations that also sort of serve the government. And we want to keep free speech, and I will address it later, possible interpretation by the AI that we are going to produce with our project. So our project solution is a platform that is not very visible here. So the platform, it is called, it didn't change. Okay, so as I said, AlmInd, right? And where does it come from, you may ask? So basically this platform is a platform where researchers will be posting their research papers or articles from news or whatever it could be. And this is going to be the original source, right? So, and the researcher is going to make some kind of claim. And every next person, like if you know the platform Threads, it kind of looks like it, and every next person is going to be kind of following this chain of thought. And here, this green and red cards are produced by the AI. So what does AI basically do is that it compares this person's opinion to the person before it. It's just going to be whether these ideas agree or disagree. That's it. So therefore, people seeing these green and red cards, they will be thinking, what is the original source of the information? And this is how we want to train people to go back to the beginning. And yes, so that's why people all kind of collide with their opinions. That's why we call it AlmInd.
I think if you click again, it should just autoplay. Yeah.
Okay, this slide shows our stakeholder analysis for tackling social media misinformation and disinformation. We decide the stakeholder like this. First one, keep satisfied. This includes administrators and politicians. They have high power but are less directly involved. And next one, manage closely. These are the most important stakeholders, such as engineers, researchers, broadcasters, and SNS companies. Next one, monitor. This includes publishers and international organizations like the UN. They have less influence in this context and don't require much attention. And last one, keep informed. This group includes social media users, especially those 70 and older, and also influencers, students, and even younger users. The key point is the number of people who use the SNS is so increasing now. Okay, so next slide is about stakeholder-focused solutions. We think broadcasters and everyone who is sending an alert is key stakeholder. So what is successful? We think 200 researchers and 20,000 academic readers and 200,000 non-academic readers and improvement of unbiased journalism. We think after we reach all these targets, our project is successful. And solutions, a platform with discussion of research papers where AI checks whether the ideas agree or disagree.
Okay. Next is project scope. So our main goal is to each people think critical and want to find the origins of the information. There are many we have to task. So we have to contact software volunteer engineers for making AI system and creating the platform. It is also important to gather researchers and users based at Hokudai. The AI we create does not judge whether comment is good or bad. Next is project deliverables. So most significant tangible output is project platform and AI system. Stakeholders can get habit of always checking source of information, and people can understand the way to get unbiased information on yourself.
In this slide, we show the work breakdown structure, which is organized into 8 key elements: running the project pilot, gathering feedback, drafting the project charter, developing the platform, rolling it out first at Hokkaido University, establishing security governance, and expanding it to other universities. And in particular, we anticipated that hiring engineers and building the platform itself will require a significant amount of time. And then, next slide. The next slide similarly illustrates the project flow with a Gantt chart. It highlights the ongoing improvement of the AI platform, governance, and policy aspects, and assumes a total cycle running of 153 days.
I will talk about the Gantt chart more. The first stage is project planning, and then we do promotion, and then this is second is technical stage. We create AI platforms, and then last stage we will expand our project to other universities. Next is our risk management. The high risk is cyber invasion with high probability and high impact. We will mitigate this by investing more time and effort in security. If currently the system is failed, we will make the defense even more sophisticated. And the next is positive risk. University might be very enthusiastic to join and support the project. We will exploit by including this into our future promotion. In conclusion, this AlmInd will help improving people to thinking critically and creating unbiased and less biased environment. And we will own this project by university, not as government side. And lastly, this project we are improving the education and the recognition to the researchers. That's all. Thank you.